and the South African Muslim Travel Operators Association has issued a communique and an immediate release. It came out yesterday talking about the resumption of Umrah. And we now welcome to the show this morning Brother Ismail Ola. Brother Ismail, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah to you and to the listeners.
Jazakallah so much for joining us this morning, Brother Ismail. Now, with great news, Alhamdulillah, we've now heard that Umrah will resume, but it is going to be in a phased approach from what we are led to understand.
Yes, so Alhamdulillah, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, after completing a successful Hajj season, had advised all that they will be resuming Umrah in a phased approach. So Alhamdulillah, the first two phases where domestic pilgrims were allowed to perform Umrah has passed, and they are currently in phase 2 right now. And to a great success, Alhamdulillah, 0 COVID cases, over 100,000 performing Umrah. And now they are ready to go to phase 3 from the 1st of November, which will allow foreign pilgrims to enter Saudi Arabia.
Right. So that's, in fact, that's very, very encouraging, because I think the key issue here is, as you mentioned, 0 cases with regard to COVID. So there is a lot of confidence at this point in time that, Umrah can go off quite smoothly, but obviously there are going to be restrictions, and there will be certain protocols that would be that would be put in place.
Yes, most definitely. So what the Saudis have advised us is under phase 3, once they are ready to start welcoming pilgrims, hopefully from the 1st of November, which is just in a couple of days' time, is that only persons between the ages of 18 and 50 years old will be allowed to enter Saudi Arabia to perform Umrah. That's one. And then obviously, like every other country, a passenger must hold a COVID negative test, or what they also refer as a PCR test, that has to be valid for about 72 hours once you arrive in the kingdom.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. I see. Now that you just mentioned the 72 hours, that has been obviously specified. Seems to be the norm now, right across the entire world, and we see it with South Africa as well. With foreigners coming into South Africa, this is a requirement. So it does appear that this is going to be a global requirement, Brother Ismail.
Most definitely for some time to come, inshallah, until we are sure that COVID is completely defeated. Yes, this is going to be the norm.
Right. Okay. Right. And okay. So once they get into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, what happens then?
Okay. So one of the main things is a quarantine or isolation for 3 days in a hotel, whether it be Makkah or Medina, where you have to book your 3 days, including breakfast, lunch, and supper. So the idea is that you isolate, don't leave the room at all, and have all your 3 meals provided for you at the hotel. So that's something that we need to get used to until we know exactly that we are ready to go to phase 4, inshallah. But that doesn't look like it's going to be too soon. So a quarantine or self-isolation for 3 days in a hotel upon your arrival. And not more than 2 persons will be accommodated per room.
Okay. I think this is extremely important in terms of what you are saying. And, because normally what happens, people go into Medina, Makkah, and now you're in a rush, you want to go to the Rosa Mubarak, you want to go and perform your tawaf. So it's going to be very, very different. The first 3 days you're there, you're basically isolated.
Yes, that's correct. So it's something that we're going to have to get used to, and something that we will work towards, inshallah. And another important note that they have advised is that only groups of 50 persons will be allowed. So if you want to go with your wife, you're going to have to join a group of another 48 people, arriving on the same day, staying at the same hotels, moving to Makkah or Medina on the same day, and departing from the kingdom on the same day. So it's not like before. It's definitely, there's lots of changes. There's lots of things that we as South Africans need to get used to, because there are part of us that travel in groups, and there are others that want to travel on their own. We just have to get used to the idea of these new rules that are being implemented.
Yes. Now, I've seen something, this is quite of interest to me, is the whole issue surrounding pre-booking of Salah in the Haramain.
Yeah, so what they've done is under phase 1 and phase 2 for the locals, a local residing in Makkah or Medina wanting to get into the haram just to perform salah or to make umrah, it's not possible anymore. You have to pre-book your slot on an app, on a mobile app. So the same rule is now going to be carried over to phase 3 for all foreign visitors. So if you know you are going to be in the kingdom, for example, in Makkah between the 1st and the 5th of January, you need to ensure that your slots for salah can be pre-booked, your slot for umrah can be pre-booked. So it is going to be a bit of a tedious exercise and something that we most definitely have to get used to for a while. But again, we're just going to have to go with the flow and follow the rules and protocols laid out by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Well, definitely. Just as far as are they going to have limitations of people? I mean, by pre-booking, obviously they will control access in and out of the Haramain, and you definitely will have a limited number of people that they will accommodate. Because I mean, if I go through a book through the app and possibly it may be too full, I may not even get an opportunity to go in.
100%, and that's something that we need to realize. The Saudi government has not stated that they are going to be implementing quotas or restricted numbers, but it's obvious that once we get onto an app and then we can't find a time slot, we're just going to have to pass, or we're going to have to read Salah outside or in your hotel room. It is going to be a very, very, it's going to be a process basically.
Well,
so they guarantee that, you know what, I'm going to be there on the 1st of January and I'll be allowed to go into the haram for all 5 salah. No.
Just looking at it from your side and from the travel association or the travel operators association, I know obviously these are going to be major changes for you as well. Just looking at, how you're going to be managing things like contracts, arrangements. I mean, what are some of the issues that stand out for you, Brother Ismail?
So first, I think what we need to do is we need to educate the public that these are now the new rules. We can't just say that I'm going for Umrah in a week's time and this is where I want to stay. We're now going to be forced to sell you a package where you are going to be accommodated with 50 other people and move from point A to point B all together. That's number one. Number two is we are signing our contracts with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, with the local operators for us to get and obtain the visas. Now, that procedure this year has gone electronic. So in the past, they would courier the contracts to us, we'd get it signed, stamped, and send it back to the kingdom. Now everything is electronic. So we are trying to sit today, tomorrow, to get all of this sorted out so that we can start applying for visas for those intending to travel. But the main issue, Brother Inayat, is for us to really educate the public of South Africa, the Muslims of South Africa, say that now if you want to go to Umrah, these are the protocols and the procedures we're going to have to follow. And from the South African Muslim Travel Operators Association, this is what we intend to do going forward, inshallah, educating the pilgrims of the new procedures and protocols. And let's hope, inshallah, it's a learning exercise for all of us, because we've not been in this situation before, where we had to pre-book slots to get into the haram for salah or to perform umrah. So it's a learning experience for us as well. And hopefully, inshallah, we will overcome it and we will get through it successfully like we've done in the past.
Well, inshallah, Ameen. And obviously, we will look out for continuous updates and any other directives that come through from the Ministry of Hajj. And I'm sure Semtoa will be communicating these, Brother Ismail.
Yes, we do expect more information to come through. And once it's received, as you indicated, we will advise the public.
Well, Jazakallah so much for that and for your time with us this morning, Brother Ismail. We wish you all the best, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece.